Ladies and gentlemen, the Aura Monster is finally here. I am so excited to say that I have no clue what it's about, nor do I even care. It's so great. Like, I've seen this entire week, everybody's like, holy crap, the preview, the Aura Monster's finally here. Holy crap, blah, mine. I was like, I don't care. I don't think I'm going to get it. I'm not looking into it. I don't know if it's like additional spoilers or if it's just a fandom thing. Like, I get this with the Mushoku Tensei series. When I read into that series, there was these little kind of jokes that people brought up that even reading the entire thing, I still don't get it. Like, it's a joke that just I just didn't really get me. So I knew there were going to be things like this for the ReZero fandom. Like, this was something that people memed about. They had a lot of fun with it. You had to be there. You had to be there as an anime only. We're not going to get it kind of situation, but it is what it is. But anyways, putting the Aura Monster aside, wow, what an episode. What an episode. Episode 75 of ReZero. I'm so confused at this point, and I love that. I love the fact that I'm completely lost as to what could be happening. I'm still pretty convinced that it's Rui. I think this is all just like something that Rui themselves is doing. And I think it could be a combination of like both taking away Subaru's memories, but at the same time, you know, Subaru's memories sort of coming back every now and then, but additionally everybody else sort of having their memories taken away or even replaced. I'm starting to build up a theory that there's a replacement happening that is causing people to become something else. And like Rem, yes, we've seen Rem in this episode. My gosh, my girl is finally back and she's killing Subaru. My favorite, obviously, best girl, like I have like my bunny Rem up here and I have several other ones. I love Rem, and to see her finally awake and she's killing Subaru, it's like, okay, there we go. She said hero, and that could be an element that if Rui is involved with this whole situation, she could have seen what Rem is, thinks of Subaru and is playing into that. But I still think there's a question mark here with Melee this episode. I ignored this last episode, and even somebody pointed out to me, and I'm like, yeah, I seen that too, but I didn't want to think too much of it. Melee last episode said something to the effect of, yeah, you were really reckless yesterday. And I didn't think of anything of it because, well, I obviously thought something of it because it seemed like it was so out of nowhere. Like, it zeroed in on the fact that she said, hey, you were pretty reckless yesterday. It seemed kind of odd for her to say that. Now, yes, I didn't want to think too much of it because technically the day before then should have been the day that he ran off to the archive and something happened to him and he passed out in the archive. So she could just be saying, yeah, you were reckless yesterday because you ran off to the archive and passed out. To our perspective, from the perspective of somebody seeing Subaru and the fact that he died and then he reset, in Subaru's perspective, he the day before died being pushed off the actual stairs. So you can say that her saying reckless in that regard is saying that he was reckless by going to that cliffside and being knocked off. Despite me discarding that, now it's starting to itch at me more because now she literally says, I want to check in on what you said the other day. That now we're saying something different. Now she's no longer referencing, the day before and him being reckless. Now she's saying, you said something yesterday. I'm not sure how serious I should take that. The assumption there, again, from the Subaru episode 1 that is now died again, the last reset or yesterday, would have been him going up the staircase saying that he's going to kill everybody. That she now heard that, even though she at that time was dead. She heard that. I kind of meant to go back and see if there was anything else said in that whole scenario that would have been, jumping out at me, but that was one thing. And she could be like, well, I want to see if I should take that seriously, that you wanted to kill me. And then that would lead them to go to the other room. She potentially could have attacked him. And then in his, something triggered within Subaru to cause him to protect himself and end up strangling out Melee. That's the assumption as to how that kind of played out. Now, the question mark there really is, what happened between the moment she said that and the moment that he wakes up and he's, got the scratch marks on his hands and he has choked her out and he's got written on his arm, Subaru is here, Subaru has arrived, Subaru was here, whatever. It's like, what happened in between there? Was it that something else took over him and protected? Again, this goes back to my theory. I'm starting to feel more and more Rui is just screwing with everybody's memories and implanting memories or cells within each one of them and just having them kill each other. And it's turning into this big, big mess. But Anyways, before I get too far into my thoughts on this episode overall, let's just go through scene by scene like I typically do, and we'll just kind of hit it all, and hopefully in the end, maybe I'll make sense of it. I love doing these videos because part of it is just me going, okay, post, watching the episode, I can sort of piece together my mindset here and hopefully make sense of all this crap, because holy crap, this is getting more and more complicated. But anyways, we open up the episode with Subaru, and he's at the door, and yes, they fixed it in the subtitles. They didn't fix the dub, though, because like I said, I always watch the dub and the subtitle. Technically, yes, last episode at the very end there, Crunchyroll messed up in both the English subtitles and dub, that he was saying, somebody is going to kill me, or I need to let somebody kill me. And like, that doesn't make any sense. And I told myself, typically whenever there's like an oddity about the translation that doesn't make any sense, I'll typically like transcribe it and translate myself. It was the one time I didn't do that with episode 74. It turned into me being completely confused there. But yes, apparently he didn't say that. He said he doesn't want to be killed by them again. So that's why he was fleeing the building. It wasn't that he was going out there to get killed. It was so stupid. But no, the English dub still had it there, which sort of makes sense. It doesn't make sense because they should actually care about these properties and want to fix things. But my assumption there is that they've probably pre-recorded these dubs weeks in advance, and then they just couldn't get somebody in there to re-record the line, or to just record it in a closet somewhere, because a lot of these people have recording stations in their closets. But whatever, that's not here or there. Anyways, he goes out there, immediately gets attacked by a worm. Shala protects him. That was Shala. Shala protected him from the worm, which my assumption here was that she was going to follow through with what she warned, that if you leave the tower before you finish the exams, I will have to kill you. She didn't kill him. That's the oddity there. I mean, the worm was definitely not Shala. Again, the attack on the worm was Shala. So she was defending him. Now, it could be that after she awoken and was going to come kill Subaru, she might have killed the worm, and before she killed Subaru, she got killed by whatever killed her. But why would she come to the edge there, shoot down at the worm, then go back inside and get killed? This is where things got really weird to me, and I'm not really understanding the flow of like how things play out here. And it's going to be great because I hope that whenever this all gets revealed, it all makes sense as to why people do what they do in every single one of these resets, because every single one of the resets just seems so off from each other, which does play into my theories. But anyways, Subaru just collapses down inside the cave-in, goes to that same tunnel that they did before, which my assumption here could be a lead up into potentially everything that happens after this. Subaru, episode 1 Subaru, essentially going through the same miasma. He's going through the same tunnel. He's going that same direction through all his walls. Yeah, he's probably at this point going crazy from the miasma. And this leads to him going back to, the very beginning, charging up those stairs, having the aura monster. Aura monster, I'm going to kill everybody moment. The conclusion I come here is that he fell down in there, went through that same miasma, and everything beyond this point, he hallucinated. Which I'm not entirely sold on, because he heard somebody he never heard before, which was, again, Rem. And I don't know that it was actually Rem's voice, though. It didn't sound like her. It sounded very different. Her saying, try to figure it out next time, hero. I don't think that was Rem. It sounded like somebody else. I mean, it was a different pitch for sure. Like, it was not going for a Rem cutesy voice. It was definitely a different Rem, but yeah, I'm kind of curious if this entire thing was hallucinated, because how did he get back to the tower? And then he goes marching up the tower, and then suddenly he sees everybody's dead. The only people that he didn't see as he charged back up there to kill his assailant is Amelia, Beatrice, and that was it, right? Because yeah, he sees Shala. Shala's messed up, like the entire upper jaw, like basically from the mouth up is gone. Like limbs everywhere. She got messed up. Then he sees Rem, and Rem's of course collapsed over Rem's chair, and it looks like she pretty much had her heart ripped out. So that was brutal as well, which kind of made me believe that if this is not hallucinated, because again, he went down there and seen the whole thing with the miasma, somehow manages to teleport back up. If this wasn't hallucinated, my assumption is that Rem had memories implanted inside of her to attack everybody. She immediately impales Rem, because Rem's going to obviously have her guard down. Immediately goes over there, probably knocks the head off of Shala, goes to attack probably Anastasia. Julius probably attempted to save her, failed. For some reason, every time Anastasia dies, she has to get cut in half. What is with Anastasia and getting cut in half is like, this has got to be a thing. Like, this has to be a thing with this creator. Just love seeing her just get cut in half off. I stole that joke, by the way. I see it on social media. But anyways, he then goes over to kill Melee, or potentially Julius was with Melee. It seems like Julius does protect Melee, which is kind of heartbreaking. In the end, Knight's duty to protect at least somebody. And that was pretty much it. That's all we've seen. We never seen Amelia, and we never seen Beatrice. Eventually, the faithful Mount Patrosh shows up, which that was heartbreaking. The fact that he's like, get away from me. Y'all are crazy. I don't want to be involved with you. Y'all putting all of your issues upon me. Which I get this whole like frustration that he's getting right here. That he shows up in this world again, episode 1, Subaru. And everybody's just kind of going, you need to do this. You need to do this. You need to... Especially Ram, because remember, Ram was like, please tell me this is a lie. I need you to do this thing. If you did forget everything, what are we going to do? Like, everybody's pouring on all these expectations upon this Subaru that just came out of a convenience store. And now, again, is being tormented. He's like, no, I don't want your crap. Leave me alone. But even still then, the faithful Mount still protect. The faithful Mount still protect. Even though he stabbed the poor thing, it's still protect. Even to the end. I like the fact that, like, after this, he's just like, oh, I want to run away with Patrosh. I want to leave everybody else behind and just go off somewhere else together with her. Yeah, even despite that stab, just picking him up and then running off with him and sacrificing themselves to save him. Before, again, Rem shows up and says, hope you figure it out next time, hero. Again, I think this is Rem. I think it was legit physically her, but I don't think it was her memories. I think it was Rui implanting partially Rem's memories, or at least herself inside of Rem, and knowing what Rem believes in Subaru, that he is a hero. Because that's literally what Rem calls Subaru, is hero. So I think it's again, this is all kind of leading it to be potentially Gluttony is just effing with everybody. And that's probably what it's going to be in the end. It's just my question mark is how much of this is hallucinated Subaru and how much of it actually happened. That all said, though, the voice acting, especially on the Japanese side with the whole scene of going up there, was great. That little laugh and then just charging up the stairs and just gonna kill y'all, gonna kill y'all, gonna kill y'all. It was very haunting. It was a very haunting little scene there. But anyways, we get another reset. And immediately, Subaru wants to go strangle Amelia, manages to stop himself before, again, embracing Patras. Poor Beatrice is like, I don't know how to feel about this, but whatever. They've always been close to each other. Don't worry about it. One little interesting comment that was made here, and it is brought up again later on. I do like there's a little bit of emphasis in this episode with this episode 1 Subaru sort of acknowledging what the current episode Subaru has kind of gone through with these people. Because right here, when he goes back and goes to go eat, Emilia keeps coming up and asking him if he's okay and kind of pointing out that he's stressing about stuff and trying to make him calm down. Amelia keeps trying to help him out. And he's trying to figure out, what did I do to deserve this attention that she has? Like, this closeness that she has with me, what the heck did I do? Like, it's almost like him, again, convenience store Subaru, walking out, not having really anything, kind of being a shut and everything like that. Him acknowledging, wow, whatever this Subaru himself did, he really gained the favor of this person. And it kind of does it later on, but it's sort of like misguided in the idea that now he has, Shala saying that she wants to give him everything, that she's going to be a convenient wife or whatever, convenient woman for him. And he's like, what the heck did I do to deserve this person? Now, again, that's a little bit more misguided. And again, it has to do with something that we're going to eventually find out about. But still, it's acknowledgement that, goddamn, this person really did gain the favor of these people. And again, it sucks because a lot of it, he doesn't really know what's fake and what's real. That's what he kind of addresses just before Melee shows up later on, is I don't know who's telling the lie or not. I don't know what's authentic. But no, he decides this time that he's not going to tell anybody about the lost memories for the sake of, if that's what's causing him to get killed. Eventually, he decides that he's going to question Julius about the whole situation the night before. I'm not really sure what brought him to this conclusion, other than the fact that he acknowledges that, Julius comes in the door and he's got this look on his face. Again, he's obviously upset about the night before. But our Subaru here doesn't know why he's upset. So it seems like he's wanting to just kind of go, okay, well, this person's giving me a stink eye of everybody, so maybe he's the one that's trying to kill me. So let me try to see if I can prod him to see if he'll kill me. He just wants to find out who, and he's the only one that's showing some sort of aggression. So he decides to get Shala to hide and protect him if something happens, and then confront him about what happened the night before. And again, he's pretty much going to get out of him sort of bits and pieces of what we've already established. But it's seemingly from Subaru's perspective now, all he's piecing together is that, you know, this Subaru has some sort of like secret from this guy with an Ekidona, whoever that is, kind of thing. So it does kind of establish a little bit of figuring things out, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like he gets a hostility from Julius, just an element of suspicion that he's got with him. So, and again, having a little moment afterwards with Shala. You promised me that you'd give me anything. I want a hug. She just like, Shala just wants a hug. Even after I did all that, you're not going to give me a hug? Oh, that's fine. I'll be a convenient woman. It's like, stop it. Stop it. I felt so bad for poor little Shala. She just wants a hug. That's all I want is a hug. Give me a hug. Oh, now you're going to give me your love. No, I'm not going that far. It was goofy. I love Shala. Speaking of Shala, though, she did mention something to the effect of having a dream about the past, about Subaru, and about her and her mother. I don't know if they've really kind of pieced much of that together, but it does sort of add another thing to her that eventually I'll have to kind of tap back into, I guess. As always, don't need answers from source material readers. But yeah, that all leads into a little final segment, which is Subaru contemplating running off with Patrash. He doesn't know who to believe in anymore, but he does believe in the land lizard. He just wants to run off with her before Melee overhears it and says that, yeah, if Beatrice and Emilia overheard you say that, their heart would be broken or whatever. But yes, eventually her saying that she has business with Subaru and that she has to ask him, you said something yesterday. I'm not sure how serious I should take that. And again, I think she's talking about killing everybody. I should have probably gone back and really looked at every single thing that she had said that entire time, but I think that's what she's referencing. I guess I can check right now. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of, because he rushes upstairs, gets impaled by Raid, ends up getting taken back in the room. Everybody's saying that he's like disappointing or whatever, and that he needs to stay there, and then eventually goes down the stairs, goes to go outside because he's afraid of being killed again, and then runs back in saying that he's going to kill everybody. I'm thinking that's what she's talking about. It's got to be what she's talking about. And again, that sort of implies that she's sort of outside of the resets, question mark? I don't know what they've ever implied Melee would have that capability. Now, there's a chance that Melee is not Melee. I never thought about that. Maybe she's potentially Rui this entire time and has sort of implanted herself into the group and has been sort of manipulating the situation. That would be interesting. To kind of find out that Melee has never been there the entire time. Don't know. I don't know. But again, the question is going to be, how does she transcend the return by death? That still remains the big question mark here. Other than the... Never mind. I just answered it myself. She's not transcending the return by death. She's just able to see Subaru's memories. It's that simple. She's just reading all the resets. Yeah, I'm convinced at this point it's Rui. She's screwing with everything, and she might potentially be disguising herself as Melee. We've technically already seen Rui transform into other people. She can shapeshift, so she can easily be looking like Melee. But no, at the last little scene there, he does wake up, and again, he's strangled out Melee. If it's actually her, it could be that Melee's been dead the entire time, and Rui is just messing with him. But yeah, he's got marked on his arm, Subaru Natsuki was here. The question mark is the marking. It looks like it's cut, not scratches. So I don't know necessarily that he clawed the naming onto his arm, but that it was carved onto it. The question mark really is why? Why bother? Besides, again, going to my theory that the real Subaru is deep inside of him, wants out, and knows that there's another Subaru that's taken over. But I still have my two theories. The idea that it's either, Rui has either reset him as much as possible by taking his memories, and he potentially could retain everything pre-Isekai because she can't consume those memories. Or again, Subaru has basically found a book of himself and completely wiped all his memories. But anyways, I'm getting too much in the weeds. It's good, right? I like this stuff. I like how many dumb theories I've come up with so far just based on these few episodes. It's been really a treat, and I hope the source material readers that know every single answer to all this stuff is having a lot of fun with it right now. But anyways, that's my thoughts so far on ReZero. Hope you guys enjoy this video as always and my crazy theories, but until next time, y'all take care.